After the very big championship of the last year, this year seems that Envision Racing have some problems. It's true?
No, I wouldn't quite say it like this. I think it's, as you can see, Formula E is more competitive every year. Last year was full of challenges, like the way the season started, and then we became a lot more competitive in the second half of the season. This year, all the teams and manufacturers have converged a lot, as expected, when you have the same car and same regulations. So I think this year a lot more cars and a lot more drivers and teams can win races and be on podium. So it's more a question of relative performance versus the others. And then yeah, for sure we started the season with podiums and then all okay, and then we've had a bit of a dip, but we've had a lot of bad luck, which I don't need to dwell into too much. But you know, Robin in qualifying in Tokyo was making the duels no problem until car spin in front of him, and we've had a few mistakes from drivers from the team that, you know, in Formula E are very expensive. Like if you have a little mistake and if you're not qualifying well, then it's difficult. But you also have to remember that the beginning of the season was a bit unusual, where we had some races that were not very energy sensitive, so Saudi and others were quite fast. Now we're getting into a lot of races that are more like last year, when it's really all about efficiency and how you run your race. So let's see, a long way to go in this season, many more races to come, so hopefully we're going to show that we still have a fast car and we can be on the podium.
Now what do you expect from Misano?
Well, Misano is going to be more like some races last year. So it's a fast open track, very different to Tokyo, for example. So we expect a lot of energy savings and temperature management. So it's going to be most likely again a much more peloton style race like we had last year. So in the first phase of the race, you need to be really careful not to overconsume. And then towards the end of the race, at some point, it gets faster. So yeah, that's the kind of profile of races we are expecting. So efficiency is going to be really important in the driving and in the powertrain. So let's see. And then hopefully qualifying is not as important here as it was in Tokyo, but hopefully we can still do a good job in qualifying, start near the front, and then that will help.
We can risk to see some race where all drivers in the first part of the race are waiting what happened and after push or not?
Yeah, I think so. In the first phase, like you see here, Portland, Shanghai is looking like that kind of track as well, where yeah, it's a fast track, let's say, so high average power, and therefore there's more energy management, and therefore because of the type of cars we are using, it is beneficial to follow the other cars rather than lead. So you will still see that phase where in the early part of the race, no one really wants to lead for a long period of time, which creates this peloton effect, right?
Speaking about the quick charge in race, what do you think about? Because I hear a lot of things. At first has been planned for the last year.
Yep.
After can't be possible. After they speak about here that can beginning, it's not possible yet. What happened?
Well, we don't actually know, as teams, we don't have all the information. Like what we know and what we've told FIA and FIO is that all we want is a system that has been tested properly and is safe and safe for all the teams, of course, to use, and also provides a good added value to the championship, basically. So yeah, from what I know, the readiness level of the technology is not quite there yet, which is completely normal with the new technology. It needs time to get tested. So yeah, I think it needs to be tested a bit more. The manufacturers more than the teams are working on that during their private testing with the FIA, and let's see, when the technology is ready and it's working well with the battery and so on, then maybe we'll use it in races. But yeah, you have to remember it's a lot of current, a lot of very fast charge. No one's ever really done it before, so it's normal that it takes time to develop.